When's this happening? What's an updated timeline?
I'm on public file with a press release saying that we had filed our S4 some time ago. We are enjoying the communications with the SEC. We're hopeful of Q3. Obviously, it could spill over into Q4, but we think soon. How about that? You take that
Q3
answer?
this year could spill into Q4 this year.
Yeah, and if we're doing the math, we're almost done with Q3.
Yeah, we are.
So yeah, there we go. We're putting it together. So I think we're excited, but ultimately it's about our relationship with the SEC and their ability to get comfortable with the transaction. And we feel confident, but a lot of that's not in our control. So we're working with them diligently, and we're excited.
When you're working with them, what are you finding as the holdup right now?
It's just a complicated and big transaction. I mean, we have over 43,000 Bitcoin sitting in escrow. We're doing it with Cantor Equity Partners, so there's some big names, there's a lot of capital, and everyone, I mean, listen, our job in with the SEC is making sure that investors in the capital markets know what they need to know about the business and everything is disclosed. So we don't plan on ever taking shortcuts. We want to do everything the right way, and that's really much it. But we're happy with the speed so far.
What have you been doing in the meantime while this crypto has been in escrow, while these Bitcoins have been in escrow? Have you started to lend, or do you have customers right now?
Nothing I can disclose on this show. I'll be back whenever I can. I'll tell you all about it. No, we've raised a ton of money. We've brought on SoftBank as a minority but significant partner who will join us on the board. So we have sovereign-esque capital. We have the largest crypto business in the world, cash flow, stablecoins, and Tether. We've built a tremendous leadership team. And as I've talked about on the show, we do plan to launch a business. What I would say to you, Tim, is I don't know if we consider ourselves a Bitcoin treasury company.
Why not?
We have a Bitcoin treasury business.
Okay.
We go out, we've already raised a convertible bond, very accretive terms to our shareholders. We've been able to acquire Bitcoin in a phenomenal way. So that's our Bitcoin treasury business. We're going to raise capital, buy Bitcoin accretively. We also are going to build products. We plan to have cash flow. And so as a Bitcoin treasury company, our sole purpose is not solely to accretively raise capital to acquire Bitcoin. It's also to contribute to Bitcoin's story through technology, through products, have customers, have cash flow. And we think that makes us materially different than a lot of the other, maybe dozens of businesses. Who knows their plans, but I want to be concretely clear that we see ourselves, again, are we competing with a Coinbase? Are we competing with a strategy? We think, why not both? We're capable of both of those. And so I don't know if I agree with the categorical marketing term of treasury company for 21.
What would you call yourself then?
A Bitcoin company. We want to be the best Bitcoin company in the world.
And what does that actually involve? Because if we look at the landscape right now, we can see companies like Coinbase, for example, that are really focused on being a marketplace, being an exchange. And then you have the strategies that are focused on the treasury side of this. For you, where do you see the biggest area for growth?
Oh, you put it right on a tee for me. I'm going to hit it out of the park. That's exactly the market hole we want to fill. Is that?
What's the hole, though? Those companies are there. Yeah,
but the hole is there's a lot of exchanges that aren't focused solely on Bitcoin financial services. We think they're missing the forest for the trees. Bitcoin's a $500 trillion asset in the making. These other technologies and crypto coins are maybe going to replace an Amazon. And so we think the focus on Bitcoin financial services and not getting diluted our focus through all these other speculative vehicles. And then for strategy is the founder of this Bitcoin treasury idea, which is an incredible business, and Michael Saylor's been able to prove that. But they have yet to explore the idea of bolting on an operating company on top of that and using capital markets in their balance sheet to monetize this Bitcoin trend. We think we can live in the intersection of those with my experience at Strike, Tether's experience running stablecoins and USDT, SoftBank, our access to capital there. We think we can do both and blend those worlds into what will be a very unique Bitcoin vehicle in the capital markets.
How do you know this is a problem that needs to be solved? What evidence do you have that this is a hole that needs to be filled?
Because my partners and co-founders made about $5 billion of net profit in Q2. That is Tether. And they hold Bitcoin on the balance sheet. They support a lot of Bitcoin adjacent businesses like mining, like lending, like brokerage services. And I myself at Strike, we just had our largest quarter ever. We're one of the biggest financial services firms in the world when it comes to Bitcoin. So I don't know of two better experts to lead the Bitcoin train in the capital markets than us. So the experience comes with our resume.
What's your outlook on the Treasury part of this specifically? Because as we've been covering closely on this program, this is an area that has just exploded over the last couple of quarters. I mean, you have biotech companies going and becoming crypto treasury companies right now. Mike Novogratz has said the idea here might start to fade a little bit. Do you agree with that?
Well, I'll give you an opinion on both sides. One side, you've got the fixed income market that's been 40 years running only up, that's now turning down. That market's rolling over. The 60-40 portfolio, as we know it, might be dead. Bonds are 5 straight years of red, of losses. And so you need to find ways to capitalize yourself. If it isn't dollars, if it isn't treasuries, if it isn't an index of stocks, Bitcoin and assets like gold are maturing as a neutral reserve asset that you can capitalize yourself on. So I think more and more companies, governments, sovereigns, endowments, individuals will begin to capitalize on Bitcoin. Now, to take the other side of, is this market frothy? I think it is, right? What we've learned is creating a Bitcoin treasury company is not a scarcity within itself. Anybody can register a business, attempt to go public, and try and raise money to buy Bitcoin. What we believe at 21, again, is the success is going to lie within the ability to attract massive swaths of capital and actually build a business on top of this opportunity that generates cash flow and has customers and is contributing real world market value to the end consumer. That's at least our opinion, and we think that's a far more scarcity than your 20th Treasury company.
Last time you were on our program, you gave this idea, and it kind of went viral on X after we spoke, but it was this idea of existing and being paid to exist through cryptocurrency. The idea that you sitting there at work all day long, you're not necessarily being compensated for what you're doing, and you see crypto as being a solution to that. I got to be honest with you, I didn't quite get it.
Okay.
I want you to paint that picture for me and get me on board.
Yeah, well, so first of all, I think it's Bitcoin, not crypto. You know that, but just to clarify for the audience, it's Bitcoin specific.
Well, that's just your view that Bitcoin is the crypto that you're focused on.
Yeah, but I think Bitcoin is the money within the crypto sphere.
Okay.
And the point really here is this, Tim. Every single day, you make a decision on how to get compensated for your time, your energy, your effort, your labor. I'm watching you. I'm sitting in the behind the scenes. I'm watching you haul your butt. You're doing a great job on this show. You need to somehow capture the value you're creating for all of us here. And you need to somehow save that value so that tomorrow you can pay rent. You can get groceries. You can travel home and see your parents.
But that comes every 2 weeks in the form of a paycheck to me.
Right, but what the
Bloomberg sees the value in that. They hired me.
Correct. So you're going to get a paycheck in the form of dollars, but those dollars are losing value in the things that you need in your life, anywhere between 2 and 20%. Depends on what you want. You want a Caesar salad, 2%. You want a nice house, 20%. And so you need to find a way to persist and save and store that wealth. And you make a decision every single day, whether you know it or not. Unfortunately, because the dollar is being debased, everyone is a speculator here filming and watching us. And so you have to make that decision. And in my opinion, over the last 15 years, and it will continue to be so, Bitcoin is the best place to do that. Take the wealth you're creating today, bring it with you tomorrow.